Experience action. Let's stop just talking about customer experience, employee experience, and the experience of leaders. Let's turn ideas into action. Your host, Jeannie Walters, is an award-winning customer experience expert, international keynote speaker, and founder of Experience Investigators, a strategic consulting firm helping companies increase sales and customer retention through elevated customer experiences. Ready, set, action.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, everyone. It's Jeannie Walters. I'm so happy you're here with me for another question from our listeners just like you. You know, this podcast has been compared to an old-time call-in radio show. And you know what? I love that comparison. When you're ready, leave me that voicemail at speakpipe.com/experienceaction. Now let's get right to the question.
Hey, Jeannie, this is Sean. I wanted to know, are there guidelines for how much a small firm under $1 million should be spending in an area like CX?
Oh, budgets. We cannot help ourselves as business leaders. In fact, I had a joke with an old colleague of mine that in any client meeting, in any situation, you can always ask the question, yes, but how will this affect the budget? Humor aside, budgets are very important because, you know, without them, it's easy to just kind of spend in an ad hoc way, especially if you're a small business, if you're growing, if you're in a growth stage. That can be very tempting to just keep investing without necessarily looking at the budget and what you're trying to do. So while there's no hard and fast rule here around what do you invest in customer experience, I will offer a few guidelines. Now, the first thing I'll say is if you are investing heavily in the sales process, if you are investing in sales technology, if you're buying lists, if you're prospecting, if you're hiring salespeople, all of those things, if you're really focused on customer acquisition, I would ask you, what is your budget there and what do you expect the return on investment to be? Because if you're investing 10% of your revenue there and you're expecting a 50% lift in customers, then you have to pull that thread a little longer and say, you know what will happen once they become customers? Are we really prepared to deliver an exceptional customer experience that will help them stay with us, that will help them refer other customers to us and become our evangelical sales force, right? So you want to make sure that wherever you're investing in acquisition, you are also looking at the other side of the coin and thinking about how are we also investing in those new customer experiences and long-term customer experiences. So don't fall into that trap. It can feel like that's the most important thing, and you'll get a lot of pressure from folks to really just focus on sales. Sales are absolutely important for business. I know this as a business owner, but if you're not investing in the customer experience, then it's a very short-term gain. You want to look for those long-term gains by actually really investing in the customer journey. So that's number one. Number two, I would say make sure that when you think about these investments, you're not just thinking about tools and technology. You're thinking about how are we making sure that we are investing in customer experience as a way to do business here? How do we make sure that it's part of our DNA, it's part of our culture, that we are investing in making sure that every single person in our organization understands that they have a role with the customer experience? Do we have a customer experience mission? Do we understand the customer journey? If not, you need to take a step back and invest the time and the effort and sometimes the resources to go ahead and do those things. Now, a lot of the companies that we work with start with a DIY approach. They have some sort of team that really wants to make this happen, and that's fine in the beginning. But you get to a point where you need somebody who can really own the accountability around customer experience. So even if you're not there today, just know that in the future, it's really important to think around accountability for customer experience results. So number one is understanding your sales budget and understanding how to level that out with your retention and customer experience budget. Number two is really making sure that you're investing in the overall culture and DNA and operations overall with a focus on your customers and their experience. And then number 3 is making sure that you're investing in the employee experience as well. You want to make sure that you are showing your employees how to lead by example, how to make sure that they are delivering to one another in the same way that you want to deliver to your customers. I have seen a misalignment here so many times, and it just leads to all sorts of bad things. Because if I'm an employee in your organization and you're telling me, you know what, we want to be the best, we want to put customers first, we want to be responsive to our customers. And yet, if I reach out to a colleague and ask for help and they say, that's not my department, that's not my job, or they just never get back to me because I'm not important enough for them, that culture is misaligned with the promise that you're making your customers. So make sure as you look at all of these different parts of your organization that you're really putting it all together in that beautiful mosaic. When we talk about experience, we have to talk about employee experience, customer experience, and really leading experience by example. Now, it's not just talk. You've heard me say this too. It's not just talk. You have to put some pen to paper on this. You have to know what your mission is. You have to know what success looks like. So if you haven't figured that part out, invest there first. Get those foundations right. We have all sorts of resources at experienceinvestigators.com to help you do that, workbooks and guides and templates, because we believe so passionately in this. And we've seen it work over and over and over again. So as you think about investment, and if you think about your budget, I encourage you to think about your budget with not just money, which is super important. So dollar signs, I like them. I like them a lot. Once we have those dollar signs figured out, you also want to think about your time, your effort, and your culture. How are you making those investments so that it reflects throughout the organization, throughout the customer journey, throughout the employee experience? And at the end of the day, you can say, we invested in the right places. Now, I know a lot of people are nervous about budgets right now. I would encourage you to think about where will it matter the most to your customers and where will it matter the most to your employees? And then be honest and say, you know what? We are investing in this process or this tool or this team right now because we believe it will have the biggest impact. These other things we want to invest in, we can't right now, but here's why, and here's when we will know it's okay to invest. The more transparent we can be with our teams, the more that they will trust that we are being honest and that we are leading with integrity and leading by example. I hope this helps. I know so many of you are out there being change agents, both within large organizations and small organizations. Some of you, like me, are business owners who are trying to do everything all at once, right? But if we do this the right way, all of us win. And that's what we're really looking for. We want our employees to win. We want our customers to win. We want our partners to win. We want to win. And by investing in the right ways around customer experience, we are all winners. And is there anything better than that? I don't think so. Well, thank you again for such a wonderful question. Keep them coming. Speakpipe.com/experience-action. I'm Jeannie Walters. I can't wait to hear what you're up to, so let me know, and I will talk to you next week. To learn more about our strategic approach to experience, check out free resources at experienceinvestigators.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter, our Year of CX program, and more. And please follow me, Jeannie Walters, on LinkedIn.